Well, it's an AFC North win, and those are never pretty. And certainly the Steelers' 24-16 win over the Cincinnati Bengals will qualify as not that pretty today. But hey, you get the victory. It's Alex Kazor from SteelersDepot.com doing the quick video segment we have been for this season, just kind of the quick thoughts and analysis after each game. And like I said, for the regular season, it's going to be not a position by position breakdown, but a just why the Steelers won, why the Steelers lost, looking at some of the kind of the keys. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on the live stream, if you happen to catch it, this will be up in the morning, so you're getting the early look at it. I don't know if there's a way to disable the stream because this isn't really a stream thing that I'm going for. But if you are, then hey, thanks for watching. New headphones this week. Bought a PlayStation 4, and I just picked a pair of headphones, and obviously they are huge. They are bigger than my entire face. So hopefully the audio sounds good. I'm sure it will. If there's any issue with it, let me know. And if you have any recommendations for good headphones, because I'm debating on these, I'm not sure if I totally like them yet or not. Let me know in the comments. YouTube, Steelers Depot, however you're watching it. But to the point. Steelers win 24-16. Again, it was a pretty ugly game. Offense took a while to get going. Some issues defensively with the pass rush, getting to the quarterback. One sack today on 50, I think two odd, some dropbacks by Andy Dalton. But why the Steelers won? And one, I think, we'll start with quarterback and just kind of the Roethlisberger mentality because Ben clearly did not have anything remotely close to his best game today. But he was fearless and he kept fighting. And although the deep ball wasn't working, his own inaccuracy, his own whatever the issue was that kept sending him back to the locker room, whether he didn't feel good or there was something wrong with a hip, I don't know. I'm not sure if he's been asked, if it's been said. To my knowledge, I haven't heard anything official. But whatever the reason was, it wasn't working. But Ben kept trying to go back to that well, kept trying to look for the opportunities to make a big play, and he hooks up for Sammy Coates for a big, forget what it was, 50-some-yard gain on a post route. Later in that game. So I give credit to Ben. You don't have your best day; it's gonna happen. You throw a couple interceptions. That's even without Reggie Nelson, that's how the Bengals just seem to operate against Ben. They play against Ben better than any other team in the league. And I think he has, what is it, 27 interceptions now against the Bengals in his career. The next closest is, I think, Baltimore, Cleveland with 18 or something. So obviously those are going to be the teams you're going to get that have the most interceptions against in their career because you're playing them the most. But the bar from Cincy to Baltimore and Cleveland is a big gap there. And Baltimore's probably had the best defense since Ben's career, but it's something about Cincinnati. It's a great scheme. Paul Gunther does a nice job. We talked about that, pregame during the week about how kind of difficult that defense is. But yeah, why the Steelers won? The one area I give credit for Ben is just being fearless and going back to that well, having trust in his guys. Situational football, huge, 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 and that's probably you can circle that as the number one reason why the Steelers won today. Red zone, 2-2. The Bengals, I think they were 0 for 1, 0 for 2. They didn't get a touchdown in the red zone, but the Steelers end up getting two as they won. I think Rimble, I think that was 20 or 22, so red zone fringe. Third down, Steelers 7 of 17, Bengals 4 of 16. So Steelers are better on third down. Field position, that's the number one thing today. That's the number one takeaway I have is Jordan Berry. Excellent, his best game ever. MVP of the game today. No kid, no line, no joke about special team or great. They're people too. No, Jordan Berry is the best player today. He puts them inside their 20 repeatedly. Bengals have 5 drives that start at their 10 or closer. You're going to force a Bengals team to go 90 yards or any offense. You're going to be in a great spot to do that. And if you can force a 3-and-out or force, a quick punt, you're going to get good field position yourself going the other way back. And the next to last punt that Barry had, the 58-yarder, it's pouring. It's a low snap. Barry has to kind of crouch down for it. He booms it again, 58 yards, puts Adam Jones to his view, the right sideline, and limits the return. So field position, third down, red zone play. If you win there, you're going to win a lot of games, even if you don't play perfectly the other way around. Offensive line, not their best day by any means, but they were pretty clean. Not a lot of penalties. I think just the one. I think it was a false start by Marcus Gilbert. I believe was the only penalty of the day for the offensive line. Ben's only sacked once. Yeah, there was some pressure throughout. Some of that was probably created by Ben, and some good coverage by the Bengals as well because they have a nice secondary. But against that defensive line for the Bengals, which is no joke. I talked about it all week. Carlos Dunlap, Michael Johnson, Marcus Hunt, Will Clark. Clark ended up getting the lone sack today. But Geno Atkins, Pecco, Sims on the interior. A lot of guys to deal with, a lot of rotation. You're seeing guys that are coming in fresh, playing on fresh legs. So offensive line did a really nice job, I think, overall for the task that they were given. It was not the optimum perfect performance, but it was needed to win this game. And credit again to the tight ends, they were huge. Jesse James, Xavier Grimble, David Johnson. What James is as a receiver, the touchdown, of course. David Johnson's blocking. Xavier Grimble gets his first touchdown. They all contribute. Tight ends are so critical in this Bengals game because they're going to be, again, asked to do a lot against defensive ends. And sometimes that's not an issue, but with teams like this, the way the Bengals are constructed, because they love size, they love height. You look at receiver, tight end, they love the guys that are kind of scary to look at coming off the bus. And they have a bunch of them on the defensive line. And, I think they held them in check relatively speaking today. Even if the run game wasn't the best, it was a struggle, but you keep kind of fighting away at it. Defensively, this is why in the offseason, every article, every narrative, every stat about the secondary was they're 30th in the NFL last year. It's not good enough. The secondary has to get better. And yes, the secondary had to get better. There's no debate about that. But it was that 30th because the stat that they used to say the Steelers are 30th in the secondary in pass defense was the yards per game. And we know how kind of a loose stat that is and how kind of meaningless and without proper context, it's worth nothing. And this is a great example of it because the Steelers secondary has been fantastic for 2 weeks. Not a lot of big plays, playing smart, being able to get stops in the red zone. But they've allowed a lot of yards. So I bet you if you looked at the yards per game, because Dalton, Kirk Cousins have gone well over 300 yards each, I bet you they're probably near the bottom of the pile in pass defense. But if you actually watch the games and see how the secondary is doing, they're doing a terrific job. Red zone football today. The one drive, the Ross Cockrell pass interference drive ends in a Bengals field goal. Bengals run 6 plays from inside the Steelers' 15-yard line, and they have to settle for 3. It's pretty uncommon. So credit to the Steelers. That's defensive line too, goal line stand. Ryan Shazier had the big tackle for loss on the first and goal play. They kind of got that going right after the Cockrell, or right after the Artie Burns pass interference. It was. But the secondary's been really strong. You hold AJ Green to 2 catches for 38 yards. You're having a good day. That hasn't happened basically since I think it's 2012 when Green had a 1 catch 8-yard day. I'm not even sure what happened that day, if he was injured or whatever the case was. But yeah, Ross Cockrell a lot better than I thought. I know I kind of dogged him and wasn't the kindest to him, but he was on AJ Green a lot today and he did a good job. So big tip of the hat to Ross Cockrell. And again, I liked him. I want to be clear about that. I never said he was a terrible player. I think he's a number 2 corner. I don't think he's a shutdown guy. I wanted him to be more physical. And the Bengals actually didn't run really any receiver screens today. I think maybe because the Steelers were playing some more bump and run to discourage that, which we had talked about before. Let's play bump and run. Let's not play off coverage and play soft on AJ Green because they're going to throw the bubble or the tunnel and they're going to get yak off of it. But secondary, big ups, Golden, fantastic. You know how much I've liked Robert Golden. Dating back to last year. This is why he was going to be the clear-cut starting strong safety, why I was so happy he was brought back, and how valuable of a guy I think he is going forward. And he's still playing some special teams. He's still the up back and the quarterback of the punt team. But William Gay, tone setter, Mike Mitchell, another tone setter. They're big hitters. They're physical. They bring intensity and energy. And they've done a really nice job against teams that have weapons. The Bengals, Washington, they both have some major weapons and have relatively been shut down. So situational football, special teams, field position, all that good stuff. Steelers check all those boxes today. Not a pretty game, not a perfect game, but you get the victory. Get a little bragging rights against the Bengals too, which hey, that's nice to have as a little bonus. So Philadelphia next week, Eagles playing Monday night. So tonight, by the time most of you are probably watching this, Carson Wentz. We'll see if Keith Butler ramps up that pressure. Had a little bit more today, not a lot, but I think he's probably going to go all out on Carson Wentz and really have a LeBeau kind of moment in game. So that should be fun to watch. Stick with us, Steelers Depot, throughout the week. Myself, Dave Bryan, Matthew Marksey, the whole cast and crew that we have. So thank you guys for watching, and we will talk to you soon.